Hi, my name's Lyon, the author of The Chair in the Valley. My memoir is the story of my being wrongfully locked in a psychiatric hospital when I was 15 years old. That event was the direct result of my having given away my skateboard when I was 15, a gesture that my school counselor at the time interpreted as my potentially being suicidal. I was told I would be in the hospital for only 2 weeks for an evaluation, but I wound up being there for 353 days, only to be sent to a halfway house to learn how to live in the real world again because I had become so detached from it. I wound up leaving the hospital feeling far more damaged than I went in. And I wound up spending the next 2 or 3 decades trying to rebuild my life and convince myself that I wasn't fundamentally broken. And I think in many ways that's why I wrote my book, because I came to realize, especially through my job as a backpacking guide in Yosemite National Park and through the compassion and love of my clients, that we all feel that way, that so many people feel fundamentally broken, that some wound or some abuse or some trauma will forever define them. And I wrote my book because I want people to understand that that is not true. The wounds that we feel that define us are building blocks that we can use to grow. Absolutely, I do believe in that. But those things do not define us as people. And the connections that we have with others that we can find in sharing our stories with one another is so precious. And in a world where we live in far more fractured, isolated communities and cliques than we used to, it's difficult to find those connections. It's my greatest hope, especially that younger people find hope and feel heard in my book, and that they feel as if they've found some kindred spirit who understands them. Your wounds do not need to define you, and I am living evidence of that. Thank you.